hear me. Right, this morning thought I would jump in and do a little bit of Train Simulator 2022. Right then, I'm going to take this train to London, Victoria, stopping at 2 stations. So without further ado, let's get with passengers on and let's get the train up and running. So first off, let the passengers board while we turn on some electrics. Let's click the lights on so the train's lit up. That's our whistle. Right, stick some lights on in the cab. Right, if this is the first time that you've seen Train Simulator 2022, then here it is in its finest. So while we're waiting for them passengers, we can have a little look outside. And we always get that popping up telling me which way we're going, but I don't need that. It's quite noisy at these stations, and there is a lot of work that goes into especially the detail. Now some of them are old, been out a few years, others I've been out so long. I think I've bought one today or this morning. They only come out last year, so again, now the game's been out for some years by Dovetail, get the right. Now they have got another train simulator out, which is a bit more modern, looks more modern. But the difference for me between the two, I don't own the other one, is if you make a mistake on this, then it punishes you, believe me. Now this is based on points, so the better you drive, the more points you get. And if you do anything wrong, speeding, making the wheels skid, making the train move more than it should, and you're going to hear a sound now, a warning sound. So I do apologise about that. Right, trying to release the brakes and get this train away. Right, our next destination is nearly 4 miles away. So this train can be put to 90 miles an hour. All the lights are on. Now we ain't got to stop at this station. So it's Bromley South, platform 1. That's where we're heading for now. As you can see, I'm travelling at 90. We have then got to bring this train down to 70, then to 60. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it to 60 miles an hour. And I'm going to leave it there. Or just over. I'm going to leave it there. And again, it's down to 50, then to 60. So if we leave that at 60 miles an hour, now with one of these that I bought, one of the tracks, I think I got the add-on with its Great British Railway Journeys. Again, same game, just different scenarios. So that's on the other PC, because this uses Track IR. Of course, I got Track IR on this one, so I can't use it, so I have to use the mouse to move around. Otherwise, I'd be using my head. Now you will hear all these different alarms going off, and you might hear others. I think I'm warning things if you don't acknowledge the buttons in time. I know the underground trains, if you don't acknowledge them in a certain quickness, they automatically stop, and they absolutely horrible to get back running. There's like, you get them back running, but you've got a time, a timer, and it's like you can't go a certain speed until you've done either so much of the journey or the time. I hate stalling them, I really do. I try and stick to the timetables and them like glue. Anyway, as you can see, we just had the sign for 60 mile an hour, but we're still at 45. So if we up that now to 60, but we don't forget we've got to stop here at Bromley. Don't really want to go too fast that we overshoot the station, because it's so easy to be done. So if we get to about here and then start applying the brakes, woo, and we also nearly went too fast then and got out for speeding. That's another thing. Must be so hard for train drivers. I mean, we've got this in a simulator, but for real life. Now this kind of game would be brilliant in VR. Absolutely awesome in VR. It probably would add a little bit more to it, because you don't feel like you're in the cab, really. You really don't. You can, I think there's a controller, a proper one. Again, everything like this is made in America. There's nobody in the UK that's made a controller for this, which also means then you got to pay loads of money to import it. But it looks good. It's like having these controls on a gamepad. It looks really, really good. Probably you could play these with a pad. I've never tried it. I'm playing with keyboard, as always. Right, let's bring this down now, because we are that far away from this train station. I don't want to go one more notch down. When you see that full service, anything after that is the emergency brake. So if I was to bring that right down now, I'm going to get the emergency brake on, and then that's it then. It's not good. Got to speed up just a little bit. Because the stop signs... Yes, sorry, idiot. It's just the end of this platform, is yet just coming up to it now. So if I bring that down, we should have plenty of room to stop and let these passengers on. Right, these don't refer to anything, them just there to show there are look passengers going on and off. If you want to do that, you come round and we do that. Because it's late and there's me and my train, so we'll get back in because we are here very long before we set off again. So we'll just wait for the toot toots. That's it. That's the guard telling me, okay, we can go. So we just keep your eye on that now. Now we've got 10 mile, or nearly just short of 11 mile journey to London Victoria, platform 6. So we'll get it to 60 mile an hour. There we go. And we'll just maintain that speed along this journey. And once we get up to it, I'll also go out the cab and have a little look, if you can do that. Don't want to exceed the speed limit though. Is one going to make it go absolutely stupid? No, one should be fine. There we go. Our train's really moving. If I pull back a bit. There we are. Just keep eye of the speed. I can get rid of this totally, so you ain't got no controls on at all, but If your train's doing mega fast, then there's nothing to show. We've got the moon, all the houses. No, wait. Let's jump back inside. Now, I'm really surprised that my Tobii tracking bar don't work with this. Track-eye does, Tobii don't. They normally follow each other. One normally works with the other. Anyway, make sure we don't go over 60 miles an hour. Plus a couple of digits over, and then I'm going to be getting penalised for it. Now that's where we want to be all the journey, if I can. 60 miles an hour. I bought quite a few trains. Different routes, different stations. Spent quite a bit of money on this game. Well, it's so enjoyable, and when you get to like Steam Workshop where people have made tracks or scenarios, sit here for hours. You can do a train journey for a good couple of hours, just one journey. I mean, to be fair, this is only a small little journey. One, it's early hours of the morning. Two, if I start to go to sleep, it ain't going to be long to finish. So, and it's another one done in my career as well. Well, I'm just approaching a bridge. Or a tunnel. That's what I meant to say, bridge. Tell it's early hours of the morning. Now with this game, like so many, I've struggled because there ain't no instructions for it. I don't know why they make games, but luckily, people that do this game, I've showed you how to start the trains, especially the London Underground ones. I love them, but they're a nightmare to drive. Oh dear. Well, I wouldn't say a nightmare. They am for a novice like me. There's so many buttons and whistles and whatever you got to press. It's like, geez. But slowly learning. I'm getting there. I mean, that's my goal. Is to get every station, every track, every train for the UK within this game. Don't know how much it's going to cost me. I mean, these Steam have just got a little bit of a sale on at the moment, so anything that comes up in a sale, I'm buying. On these cold, dark winter nights when there's nothing to do, I can always throw myself on here, jump in a train and have a drive. And if I don't want to drive these, jump on the other PC, drive a car. And if I don't want to do that, I can do a truck. And if I don't want to do that, it's Call of Duty time. That's how I see it. Anyway, we're approaching a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit, so we don't need to just bring the train down just yet. We're 5 miles away from London, Victoria. Oh, keeping that speed limit. Look, needs to come down a couple of digits. And I watched a programme, you might have watched it yourselves, Secrets of the London Underground. Found that absolutely interesting, that. showing all the history behind it. And that was one of the reasons why I got the train sim. Thought I wouldn't mind having a look at that, because I had a copy of this some years ago. Again, never had a lot of trains with it, and I got into it then. I liked it then, but I'll say over the last couple of years I've got into gaming a lot more, different games, especially simulators. So, and just seeing how good these to the real thing. Oh, that's my alarm. There might be a specific name for that alarm, but at the moment I don't know what it is. I know it's got something to do with that, but I can't read it. Well, the AWS, I think it's called. Don't ask me what it stands for, because I ain't got a clue. I just know it's some kind of brake. And it'll probably go off again in a minute. Now I don't see the point in making this train go faster, because by the time that train gets through, I'm bringing this speed back down to 45 miles an hour. Yep. I mean, there we do. And then I'm hitting the brakes again to get it down. So we did it ish. There's a wheel alarm. Again, still in the 45 mile an hour speed limit. Must be really hard for real train drivers to one, keep the train on time, two, keep your eyes on all these signals, it ain't easy. It ain't just sitting there. Well, it is just sitting there, but hey, sitting there with a lot of responsibility, eh? Again, it's probably better. Now, they do make a control. I'd love to get one. I really would. I think the only game I got yet is Flight Simulator. That's next. Oh, no, don't get speedy. Oh, if that had gone over one more notch to 46 mile an hour, I'd have got penalised then. Must keep my eye on that speed limit. You can't let it go over. So it's creeping up, look. Plus we're going down now. Like rolling at the moment. No, I think that's going to go off again. Yep. Something to do with the signal. And that was on amber then. So that's like a warning system to acknowledge. I mean, I thought this on one of the game I was doing, I thought it was broke. It took ages for the lights to change. But was waiting for... Should go again in a minute now. There we go. I think it's... Okay, prepare to stop. Caution. That's what that is. And it's double amber, I think. Like I was saying, it took ages and ages. See, look, here's another one. I mean, you can do this, but it really slows the train down when you zoom in. Oh, I'll sort to leave it where I had it before. Right, let's get it up to 45. It's doing that stupid speed again. When it goes to 60. And it's down to 40, but I'm like, how far? 1.4 miles away from the final destination. So seriously worth bang it into 60 mile an hour to bring it down to 40. Near something come inside of me, I think. The sound effects are awesome. I was in Birmingham and the police car was going off. And I was like, is that a car in my street? Is that a police car in my street, or is it in the game? I mean, you can sit here and it don't sound that loud. But when you go out the cab it is. Right, let's bring it down to 40, because if I don't, it'll do me. Again, these I'm like on amber. I think it's like, be prepared to stop, or there's a change in speed. Anyway, we've got to now bring this down to 20 mile an hour before I get to there. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I don't really want to lose anything. That's it. I'll do me. I've done ever so well so far. We shouldn't have any problems. I don't think we've been late. Everything is running on time. Now, is there a red light up front? Confuse me sometimes which one's for this track. Yeah, it's for us. It's A for us. It's on the other track. Well, here's 6. That's what we're coming into now. So we need to be remarkably on number 6. Now sometimes you have to move. I think they're called pointers either, where you move the switches so you get onto the right track. Now that's done via this. So this is where we're coming in, look. And we would move that to go over. Anyway, better move back because I don't want to be going over 15 mile an hour. See how we're going over now? Well, you can actually move that in the game if I wanted to. They'll say no, but in some of the scenarios you do. You have to do it. Whereas we crawling here. Nice and steady. I ain't got that far to travel. There's a countdown before we hit that barrier. Or stopping distance. Where, according to this, another train driver is going to take over. And my work is done here. It's 9. I'll start bringing that speed down. As soon as that last carriage hits the green, I'll bring it down. Oh! Emergency brake. I don't put the emergency brake on, but it says it did. I have to be careful with that as well. So I've lost a few points, not many, but I did try to get a complete clean run. It did happen, but never mind, eh? We can have a look how we did. Just got to wait for these passengers to get off. I mean, the detail that goes into it. Is this our train? I've lost where our train is. Here it is. Oops. You do go under the track a bit, but you go above it and below it. Here's ours. All the times I'm working properly, like what's on there's on there. It's whiz me. Anyway, let's jump back in. Right, great work. All tasks completed successfully. Let's see how well you did. Well, I know I've got that one emergency brake. So as we close that and we go back into the game. Here we go. Look, we lost a bit of points. So we did on time, on time, on time, That would have been a complete clean run there. It just shows how many seconds we had the emergency brake on. So I've just gained 18 XP. And I'm at level 16 or 16 and a bit. Anyway, that's that one. We'll do another one.